you ever been in a situation wherein you have gone out with your friends for dinner and you had to pay the bill? Now this bill amount is say 10,000 rupees. You have paid the bill, but somewhere you have that fear whether your friends will pay you back that particular amount or not. Say hypothetically you ask your friend the split amount, and now this friend is not paying you and it's been almost 2 to 3 months and you still haven't received this money. What do you feel in that particular situation? If you notice over here, money has come in between your friendship. Money has become a barrier. You know, friendships are supposed to be built based on trust, based on how you are able to bond, the emotional connection. But when you bring in finances, it complicates things. So does money ruin friendships? Well, my name is Vandana. I'm a counseling psychologist, and let's dive deeper into this particular concept. Friendships generally thrive on mutual trust, the bonding that you share with the other person, the memories that you create. But when we bring in the concept of money, it can really complicate a lot of things, and sometimes it can go ugly. Let's take the case of Facebook. It was initially started by Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin. They were good friends and they started off this entire concept from their room dormitory. But as and when the company started to become bigger, things started to get complicated amongst these two friends. So much so that there was a legal battle between the two, and eventually they had to part ways because of money. There are so many cases like this wherein friends together start a firm, but because of financial disagreements on most cases, they end up either dissolving the firm or not talking to each other over this entire discussion and fights on money. Even studies show that how money, when it enters any relationship like friendship, it suddenly starts to become a transactional relationship rather than an emotional relationship. And when we enter into the phase of transactional relationship, we start to keep tab on a lot of things, like whether this person has paid us the bill or not, or we start to worry about what is the status of our friends, how do we present ourselves in front of them. We start to self-doubt ourselves, especially if one of our friends is earning more than us. Always there is this internal fear that the money makes us feel, and it's like a shadow that comes in your friendships. Now let's talk about how money has a different meaning to our genders as well. So many research studies shows that for men, they associate money to status and power, and the likelihood of them trying to make a payment is much higher as compared to a woman. Now let's take a dating scenario. When a man and a woman go on a date, a woman is much likely to insist on splitting the bill as compared to that of a man. Man feels that they have to pay for the bill, and this is because of their natural instinct that if I have taken out this girl for a date, I need to show that I will be able to take care of her, and that is his way of showing power, responsibility. But for a woman, splitting the bill shows equality, and she feels that she is also equally responsible and capable to fend for herself. And you know what? 38% of the adults are only willing to speak about money with their close friends and family. The rest of us are not that comfortable because whenever we speak about money, we generally are asked the common questions. What is your salary? How much do you make? Can you really afford this fancy apartment? Can you really afford this particular car? So all of these questions come into play, which can make a lot of us feel very, very uncomfortable. So amongst genders, there are so many differences. Now, if you pick the entire adult population, only around 38% of them are actually comfortable to speak about money with their close friends and family. Most of us are very uncomfortable to talk about this topic because of the intrusive questions that they're going to ask you, like what is your salary? Or if you have bought some particular product or invested in something, they're going to ask you how much have you invested or what was the price of that particular product. And many of us feel that if we disclose how much money we make, or if it is something that is a little bit expensive, there is going to be a lot of judgment associated to it. And sometimes these judgments can also be a little bit negative. Sometimes it can even lead to jealousy and often keeping tabs on what the person is doing in their lifestyle. And money doesn't just come into your gender or in your adulthood, it also comes in your culture. If you take the popular sitcom Friends, there was this one episode wherein the friends had gone out for dinner and Phoebe had just ordered a salad, and she was expected to split the bill amongst her other friends who had eaten a much bigger meal.
And everyone owes $28.
Everyone?
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
She was really uncomfortable in doing so, and when she voiced out, they made fun of her. If you take another example of Crazy Rich Asian movie, Rachel Chu was often judged by the rich members of her fiancé for being a middle class.
I know this much. You will never be enough.
Since I can remember, my family has been my whole life. Rachel!
Paul, in his study of 2012, noticed that wealthier individuals are not that empathetic. If you look at it in terms of friendships, they don't really understand that some friend of theirs is feeling bad because they do not have a lot of money. And in certain situations, this is quite true because they have always been grown with a lot of things that is available to them in ample. And they're never exposed much to a situation wherein they feel that they have to share or be understanding in a social setting, because if you are rich and you're making a lot of money, then you tend to have social circles which are also rich. So in those scenarios, you don't have to really be empathetic to a lot of other people because you feel that all these people also have enough just as you. So if you see a lot of wealthier individuals, according to this study, claim that did not have a lot of empathy and did not willingly want to do anything for the social support of their friend. Even if you look at our own culture, whenever we are getting into arranged marriage setup, there is this bio data that is being sent to you, and often we generally check how much the other person is making. And this can seem like a prejudice, but whenever a person is marrying off their daughter to another person, they feel that this person needs to be earning a lot of money to take care of the daughter. Even though the daughter is making a lot of money, still this is a criteria that is followed even today. But have you ever wondered, why is money such an important factor in every relationship? Of course, money is what brings us a lot of comforts in our life, but the same money can cause a lot of misunderstanding amongst our friends. Have you ever had any friendship fallout because of money related concerns? Do let us know in the comment section. But money need not always be a major concern in every friendship. It can also be taken care in a much better manner. For example, whenever somebody is asking you for money and this seems to be a close friend of yours, you can always set a boundary as to how much of money that you are willing to lend to this person and how much you are not, because you need to have a clear communication. If not, it can lead to a lot of misunderstandings. There's been a lot of cases wherein friends have borrowed money, but because of that hesitation to ask for the repayment of money or the hesitation to say no, often there has been this misunderstanding or cold vibes amongst friends. So it's very important that you set clear communication and clear boundaries when it comes to money. And if you're struggling financially, instead of hiding it and instead of going behind pretense, you can always ask for help and talk about it. Because the more you talk about it, the person around you can understand that you're going through some sort of concern, and if they could give you any sort of help, that could only be possible if you open up about it. And you can decide who do you want to open up. You don't have to do it with everybody. The one that you trust the most can be the person who can listen to you and give you a better suggestion, instead of you pretending that you have a lot of money or you trying to borrow a lot of money from others and creating a huge debt for yourself. And let's be fair, you don't have to keep tab on every single rupee that is being borrowed by your friends. You can always let go certain amounts that you feel is not that high. For example, if you've gotten coffee for a friend, you don't have to keep tab of that. You're not an accounts ledger, right? So end of the day, you can also decide how much you want to accept and how much you want to let go in terms of money. This was a try from our end to talk about different behaviors of humans, and let's try to understand this behavior deeper and figure out what makes us think, feel a certain way. So if you're liking this concept, don't forget to put your thoughts in the comments below and let us know how we can improvise it. This is the first time that we are trying, and I hope that we are able to do some justice in terms of understanding the behavior of money and how it can come in between our friendships. So hope you like this video, and if you like it, do share it with your friends, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and follow me for more such interesting video. Thank you.